What's up guys, it's Alyssa. So it has been a hot minute since I posted anything. I am at school. I've only posted one video since I've been here, like this semester. But I have my first free weekend, like literally, of all semesters. So I decided that I'm going to share one of my most recent photo projects with y'all. So this was a project that I did for I'm in advanced digital photography right now. And basically I just want to like tell y'all how I like got through the whole process, like from picking a topic to just like shooting it and seeing it out till the end. So I'm gonna start with like picking the subject matter, because that's how you have to figure out what you're gonna shoot. So basically I had two constraints. Basically I had to either pick to shoot portraits or landscapes, and when I went into this I was planning to shoot landscape because, like, honestly mainly because portrait requires other people and we're all busy with college, so it's kind of hard to get other people. So I was like, I'm gonna do landscape, but in the end, which you'll see later on in this video, it kind of became a combination of the two. I would say picking a subject matter is the first step in seeing a series through. Also, another thing is like drawing inspiration from things. So for me, coming up with this project, a lot of it just came from driving around and like seeing what was in my general vicinity to shoot, because like I said, I was gonna do landscape, and I needed it to be something that I could reasonably shoot by a deadline. Obviously if you're just doing this for fun, you've got like all the time in the world, so you're not quite as restrained on this one, but it is helpful if what you're shooting is something that's close by. But yeah, also just like drawing inspiration from other photographers is great. Just other kinds of art is good as well. I definitely, like, when I'm trying to come up with a project, just look at like other people, what they're shooting, just to like get a baseline idea of what I might want to do. Next is figuring out the technicalities. So big one is time of day you're gonna shoot. If you're shooting something that already exists, you're not like constructing something. And I decided to shoot between like 7 and 7:45 because that was, the sun was like pretty like setting, and then it went into blue hour a little bit, which was good for what I wanted, but it wasn't so great with my schedule, so that's always something to think about as well. It kind of limited me to like 3 days a week that I could shoot. Also figuring out the like variation of angles you're gonna shoot at. So I ended up doing deadpan, but I didn't start with deadpan, which, if you don't know what that is, it's just shooting something like straight on and it's like centered. But I'd started out shooting things at angles, and for consistency and just for the overall effect I guess I wanted, deadpan was the way to go. But like I said, that was kind of a trial and error thing, so this, as well as my next point, is going to be going out and shooting, so you can kind of overlay them, and some things you'll figure out as you're shooting. But I would also say, when you do, you are going out to shoot, don't decide that you're going to do it one day and be done with it. Like, I would shoot as many times as you possibly can, and the longer period of time the better, unless it's something that's like really time sensitive to like a season or something. But yeah, using as much time as you can to shoot is huge. Editing, I don't have much to say on this except that consistency is key, because like if you're not gonna edit something to be exactly as you see it, like you want to like flatten an image, for instance, they all need to be kind of flattened, not like half of them are and half of them aren't, which kind of sounds like common sense, but really like taking the time to pull up all of your images that you're using and comparing them and seeing where there's differences, or making sure they look consistent, because otherwise, like, if one has like too much yellow in it or something but all the rest are like, I guess, white balanced correctly, or like more on the blue side, that yellow one's gonna stand out as wrong. So there's that. Okay, then presentation, which I feel like this was just as important as picking a topic and shooting. So that was also like a really big part of my project. So the way I did it is, for one, I thought about like the materials that were used within what I was shooting, and I'm going to explain exactly what I did in a second, but I want to like generalize everything first. But yeah, thinking about the materials that were used, and then how I could convey that to the way the viewer like intakes the image, I guess. Also thinking about like the order that you want the viewer to see your prints, or you may not print it, you could do other things, but like if you're gonna print it, just the order that you want the viewer to take them in, because that makes a difference. And also just like how things look together, that's kind of important. And then also deciding if you want to incorporate words, so like having an artist statement at the end, or if you want it to be entirely up to the viewer to figure out what you're doing. And again, this is all for like, at least for the way I did this, it was for a class, but like it's how it would be like if it was in a gallery or something, not necessarily like a book, or I don't know, however else you would possibly, I mean like Instagram or something. Yeah, this is more for like gallery type setting. But yeah, so basically I'm going to have my artist statement at the end of the images once I put them in this video, because that's the way that I had it viewed initially. But I shot houses, and it was in short a portrait of Texas because that's where I am. I was going to do it just within like a small mileage, because I thought that was really cool that both sides of what I was shooting were in the same area. But again, time is kind of a thing, and so I wasn't always like in the college town on the weekends, so I had to like bring in some other images from when I was not here. But yeah, I'm gonna not tell you anything else about what my topic was, and I'm gonna like let it play. And there wasn't music when my class viewed this, but I'm gonna put music in it because I think it's more fun. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy this, and then I'm going to explain a little bit more about what I did. Okay, so as you can see, I aligned the images on either side of the hallway. This was just an art building. One side I had all the old houses, and one side I had all the new houses to show like how there's all this stuff that's still standing that's like usable, but we're so obsessed with the new that we just let that stuff sit there. And this, as you can see, it pertains to houses, but it's also more of like an innate like problem with man, I guess. And honestly, it also wasn't like me placing a judgment, it was more like an observation and more of like helping, like initiating thought within people, not so much like pointing fingers, if that makes sense. But yeah, as you can see, I used those, they were from IKEA, but they were that like unfinished, like unstained wood frames, and I thought that was, it correlated to the buildings pretty well, because like the new ones were made of that kind of, I'm not really sure what kind of wood that is, but like that same kind of unfinished wood. But then also at the base of the old buildings is that same kind of structure. So I felt like that was the best way to present it. And then also in having them on either side of the hallway, I kind of had like two themes. So the ones that were new houses were a lot brighter, and it was supposed to be like sunrise, even though I didn't shoot them at sunrise because I wasn't gonna get up that early. And then the old buildings were supposed to be more like sunset, so like the end of an era kind of thing, but it's like still there. And then also having them like that is sort of like going down a street where you see buildings on either side. It was gonna be all houses at first, but it was a lot easier to incorporate just all buildings in general. Again, that's something that I kind of figured out as I was shooting. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say about it post you seeing it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you'd be interested in seeing more of my projects. Yeah, and stay tuned for more videos. Bye.